So recently I went down a fashion rabbit hole on RedNote, aka Xiaohongshu, to see what fashion trends the Chinese women are wearing right now. RedNote is like Pinterest and TikTok combined, except all the girls are 6 feet tall. There's a side to RedNote that has like a very trendy, hyper maximalist type of style that feels very much catered to social media. I didn't want to focus on those types of outfits today. Instead, I wanted to focus on the average, normal girl who's like into fashion, who cares about style, but they're not going over the top or wearing head-to-toe designer. This wouldn't be a valid Chinese fashion trends video if I didn't talk about how they're not afraid to get a little weird with their shoes. In many of their outfits, the clothes are simple, but the shoes are a statement piece. I feel like the regular Chinese girl is not afraid to put on a weird shoe. Another subcategory of shoe that I saw a lot were dad shoes. I don't know if it's because my RedNote algorithm is dialed in to show me dad shoes because I was looking for dad shoes, or if dad shoes are actually a really big trend in China right now. Dad shoes to me will always look a little bit nerdy, but I think there's something about the contrast between like a really great outfit and a really ugly, insidious dad shoe that makes the outfit look really good. I don't know, I think I'm overanalyzing it, but the trend that I see every RedNote girl wearing, no matter what corner of RedNote she resides, are the ultra wide leg pants, or what I like to call big chungus pants. When it comes to proportions, they're not afraid to lean into the boxiness of the wide leg pant. There's this fashion rule that if you're wearing something loose on the bottom, that you have to wear something tight on the top, but these girls do not give a shit. They're wearing loose everything. While I do think at a certain point these pants look way too wide and start consuming their entire figure and all you see is pants, I do think that's the whole point. I think the goal is to look like you're wrapped in a cocoon and serving chic Michelin man. I'm not sure if this is a trend or if it's just how I'm interpreting the fashion tea leaves, but I feel like Chinese style is more casual and laid back compared to American or Western fashion. Overall, I saw a lot of girls wearing sneakers, loose-fitting clothes, and outfits that just leaned more athleisure and a little more sporty. The hot girl and clean girl aesthetic, which we see in brands like Reformation, Realization Par, Aritzia, that are really popular in the US, don't seem to be that trendy among Chinese women. Chinese fashion has a more girl next door quality to it and feels less centered on sex appeal compared to American style. I think this is basically a cultural thing. It's just a little more conservative from a fashion sense. Like the girls, I feel like they're just not exposing themselves like that. Overall, I love how their style feels very carefree, very wholesome, and cute. Next, I noticed that the Chinese girls aren't wearing the sharp and skinny sunglasses that I see a lot of girls wearing in the US. Instead, I think the rounder and wider sunglasses are more common. I'm just really glad that the Chinese women have done away with those buggy Chinese Karen sunglasses. I feel like these new sunglasses they're wearing are a more evolved version of those damn beetle glasses. I also really like this flavor of sunglass that has like a subtle cat eye shape without being too obnoxiously cat eye. I'm not saying there aren't any Chinese women wearing the thinner style of sunglass, but I would still say that the wide and round type of sunglass seemed a bit more common. The next fashion trend that I saw absolutely everywhere were girls wearing pops of red, specifically in scarves, bags, socks, and shoes. Wearing pops of red has been a trend here in the West, but I like how these Chinese women are going a little bit more heavy-handed with it, often incorporating multiple red pieces in the same outfit. In China, red is seen as a lucky color. It's incorporated everywhere in like traditional Chinese decor, especially when Lunar New Year comes around, everything is red. I think red is timeless and will never go out of style. I really love this trend because you can have a really boring outfit, but then if you add a few pops of red, it can make it look very interesting. I prefer wearing red as an accent color rather than having whole pieces in the color red, just so you get a little bit of a flavor of the red, but you're not absolutely bombarded with the red. I was surprised to see a lot of girls wearing leopard print. I feel like animal print will always feel more trendy than something that will last and be timeless. I think animal print in general just has a tendency to look really loud and dominate an outfit. But I really like how these women are using leopard print as an accent. I feel like it doesn't look too loud or too domineering. I think it adds such a nice detail/texture to their outfits. Researching this, I was wondering why we as a collective decided to wear leopard print or like basically safari animal print, but it's never cow, it's never cat, It's always zebra, it's always snake, a reptile, or like a safari animal, but it's never cow. Is that too silly? Maybe. Rather than a sharp and slim type of shoe that I see a lot in Western fashion, Chinese women prefer wearing rounder and chunkier shoes. These Converse in particular have such a chokehold over Chinese girls. I've seen it multiple times in the subway. Even though these Converse look really tough, do not let it fool you because it's always the tiniest and least intimidating girls wearing them. They love a thick shoe, they love a chunky shoe. They don't do the slim, dainty little shoes that we like to wear in the US. Most of the shoes that I saw looked rounder, they looked thicker, blobbier in a good way. They looked like good shoes to kick someone with. Another trend I see a lot of is the hiker core aesthetic, especially these bean-shaped hiker shoes. They can't get enough of it. They're wearing it with everyday outfits that you wouldn't really expect to see this type of shoe. Bam, there's a bean shoe. Usually paired with a long white sock, worn with jeans, wide leg pants, and maxi skirts. Based on my very scientific metric of the number of Solomons I've seen on the subway, the bean-shaped shoes are really having their moment right now everywhere. I feel like this is one of those fashion things that's more of an acquired taste, at least it was for me. The first few times you see it, you might feel a little confused or a little bit repulsed, but once you see it more and more, you start to get it. Like, tell me these outfits do not pack major heat they're serving. Even though most of these hiker core outfits will never see a trail, I really enjoy the functional and kind of wholesome aesthetic that hiker core gives off. When it comes to American style, I feel like there's a tendency for your body shape to be the focal point of an outfit rather than the clothes themselves. Overall, the clothing that Chinese women were wearing were more modest and layered. There was nary a crop top or cleavage to be found. There was just a greater focus on layering, colors, proportions, shoe choice, or accessories. From a fashion standpoint, I think this is great. I think it makes clothing feel more accessible to people with different body shapes. But let me pause right here because I know that a lot of you are going to say that RedNote has the most toxic beauty standards ever, which is very true, but I think it is also balanced with a good amount of women who are styling themselves in a way that emphasizes the clothing rather than their body shape. I think that's just because of the fact that when the clothing is more modest, you're not really showing off your body, you're kind of just focusing on fashion and style. The next trend is wearing caps, especially in a fun and bold color. Popping on a cute, colorful cap on a basic outfit is such an easy way to make a boring outfit look interesting and stylish. I like how this is a very easy fashion trend to try because you just have to buy one small accessory rather than a whole piece of clothing. As a general fashion tip, I love trying new colors or unfamiliar patterns out in small, low-stake accessories. It's an easy way to experiment with your style without spending a ton of money. Another fashion thing I saw a lot of Chinese women doing is wearing masculine silhouettes. This outfit says, "I own a black USM shelf that's been sparsely decorated with random objects." Now, I feel like a lot of these outfits look really good because a lot of these women are super tall. If they were short and stout like I am, I don't know if it would come across quite the same. You know, I think when I try to do this, I look like I'm cosplaying as a man. It's not cute. So I'm really jealous of anyone who can put together an outfit like this. If a guy were to wear any of these outfits, I would probably be attracted to them. There is a subtle art to crafting a good masculine outfit. I like outfits where it balances masculine elements with feminine elements because of that sweet contrast. I think this is one of the trickiest things to style. The girls who have figured out this balance have beat the fashion final boss. They can put together any outfit in any situation. Especially this girl General Simply. No one can stop her. She is the moment. She is an icon. Also, I think it's really funny how a lot of these handles are nonsensical English names, like 160 Sailing, I Am Rain Koo, or my personal favorite, I Am Jam. The next thing that I want to talk about, based on the hour-long lines I've seen outside of the Cezanne on Elizabeth Street in New York City, I would say that French fashion has been really popular and trendy in the US. I was surprised to see that the Chinese women on RedNote have also taken bits and pieces of French fashion as well. French style to me feels dressier, has romantic details. I saw a lot of girls wearing flats and Mary Janes, which to me feels very French coded. I feel like these outfits are French inspired. It feels like a casual take on that style. Alright, so when I made this video, I was surprised to see that Chinese style is not that different from American or Western fashion. I wanted to see what they did differently, but turns out a lot of what they do is pretty similar. It goes to show that fashion today just doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's shaped more by online trends than local culture, to a point where we all kind of wear similar things. A lot of fashion people will get their panties in a bunch that we've lost all individuality, everyone's dressing the same, and how that's very tragic. Truth is, a lot of people can't help but follow fashion trends because when you're wearing what most people think looks good right now, you seem more fashionable, you seem more cool, and you just fit in. Which isn't a bad thing. There's no shame in following a trend. If you wear something that feels comfortable and true to you, even if it's literally what everyone is wearing right now, at the end of the day, all that matters is how it makes you feel when you wear it. That's all I had. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you found something new and interesting to try and to think about. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.